If you've ever been forced to listen to an ad read disguised as a home defense video by a man with a fake name as he shills for a horrible company that released a dangerously unreliable product, the Springfield Armory Prodigy, that should never have been brought to market, as you listen to more ad reads than the Super Bowl halftime show and more sexual innuendos that are cringe as fuck than you would find on an OnlyFans girl's account, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average Callout Noir is a fucking clown, and the Springfield Armory Prodigy should be used for nothing more than a paperweight video enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Now, before all of the it's a community, this gun drama stuff is stupid, accountability is a double-edged sword. And when you have a channel with 3.07 million subscribers and you release a video titled My Home Defense Guns, and the first gun you cover and say that is reliable in your bedside gun is a Springfield Armory Prodigy that is known even by the FUDs that defend it to be notoriously unreliable and notoriously bad, and you stand there with a straight face and say, yep, the 4 1/4 inch is the best because it tracks super fast and I just like it, that is bad. And people should be held accountable for their words and their actions. And this behavior and this shill-like behavior is not good for any community. And that is why we're going to discuss it here today. So before we get into the Springfield Armory Prodigy specifically, I first want to discuss Mr. Callout Noir and his history and his shill habits. Let's backtrack to the NRA. At a time when the NRA was against the Second Amendment and against your rights to be able to own things like SBRs, short barrel shotguns, fully automatic weapons, when they were notoriously FUD centrally located, Callout Noir went to bat for them. He carried the water for them. He was the face of the NRA, and he was the face of their shill-like behavior. He has also been known to shill for companies such as the USCCA, which as of late has been discovered to be, again, dangerous for their audience, not actually doing the things that they're advertising and actually defending people in court when that is literally the only thing that they're advertising that they will do for you. So companies like NRA, USCCA, the Sonoran Desert Institute, which is known to give out a piece of paper that means nothing and an accreditation that means nothing, as they steal your GI Bill and give you a document that no company will actually hire you based on the merits that they are advertising. So, need I go on? He shills for companies like Springfield Armory, and I'm probably forgetting a few. I'm sure you guys will list them down below. But why is this important, and why am I discussing Mr. Callout? Because he goes on shows like Joe Rogan and other very large podcasts, and he is the face of the Second Amendment. And a lot of people are afraid to call him out based on him being African American. And I say, fuck all that. I don't care if you're white, black, brown, purple. I do not give a fuck. If you're representing the Second Amendment in any form or fashion, and then in your home defense video, you come out and say, yes, the Springfield Armory Prodigy is my bedside gun, pump the brakes, because that is a product that should have never been brought to market in its current condition. It is dangerously negligent. It is inaccurate, it breaks, it rusts. We're going to go over all that in a little bit. And even the FUDs that defend the Prodigy will tell you that, yeah, that's a miss. Probably should not invest in a Prodigy at this stage, or really ever, when the competition blows it out of the water. You can buy a cheaper gun like a Bull Armory or a more expensive gun like a Staccato, and both are going to outperform the Prodigy. It's going to take $500 to $600 to fix that gun. But before we get into all the Prodigy stuff too much, I just want to say, if it walks like a shill, it talks like a shill, then that man is a fucking shill. Callout Noir should not be trusted. And before you get down below in the comments and try to defend his actions, look at his track record. Look at the companies that he's defending. Sonoran Desert Institute, trash. NRA, trash. Springfield Armory, trash. USCCA, trash. Sonoran Desert Institute, trash. And the list goes on and on and on. So if it walks like a shill and it talks like a shill, then that man is a fucking shill. And he's also cringe. Just on a personal level, every video he's releasing the cringiest statements, talking about basically just the cringiest sexual innuendos that you could ever hear, and it's equivalent to that of like a incel that would be on an OnlyFans account trying to talk to some AI chatbot female. Okay, that is the level of cringe we're talking about here. So to leave Callout Noir and his cringe advice where it is with a 3 million person audience and all the cringy stuff that he says, let's transition to the Springfield Armory Prodigy. Now, in my opinion, this gun should have never been released in the current state that it is in to market. It is released at roughly $1,500 to $1,700 based on which model and what barrel length and what condition you buy it in. If you can literally Google, you can Google it, you can chat GPT it, do whatever you want. Go to whatever reputable person or tester and gear reviewer that you want. They will tell you the same thing that I am telling you. That gun is trash. It rusts, it flash rusts. The second you get it, that gun is going to rust. You go outside, you get any type of moisture on it at all, that gun is going to rust. So whatever Cerakote finish or finish that they use on that thing, it is trash. The firing pins break within 500 rounds. It's notorious that the firing pins are absolute trash. They are brittle, they are not produced properly, and they are breaking. Let's talk about accuracy. The guns are literally not accurate, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, Trench, it's a 2011. Shouldn't the gun be insanely accurate? Yes, but they're not. The guns are not accurate, and they do not function. They don't function with the mags they come with. They don't function with the staccato mags. They are notoriously jam-o-matics. The guns are not good. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'll just buy it for $1,500 and then I'll just fix it up for $500 or $600 or $700 and put other parts in it, that is not good. That is not a good selling point. That is bad. They should be held accountable for their trash gun that they are releasing in the current configuration that it's in. So if your excuse and reasoning is, well, I'll just buy it and upgrade it as I need to, dude, no, bad. That is bad, FUD, dumbass behavior. Do not do that. You can buy a cheaper gun, like a T-Sauce, that will run better in the configuration that you get it in, or you can get a Bull Armory that's cheaper, or you can get a freaking Staccato and be done with it, right? There's a million guns out there that are better than a fucking Springfield Prodigy that should have never been released. Springfield Armory should be held accountable for releasing this product. They shouldn't be, congratulated and pat on the back with, oh, well, you released a 2011 that's kind of okay and only malfunctions every 2 to 3 magazines, so good job, we'll fix it up on our own. No, bad. And when you see a fucking shill like Callout Noir come out here and say it's the best gun he ever shot and he loves it and it's his bedside gun, that is advice to 3 million people that as of the time of filming this video already had 275,000 views. That is 250,000 or more people that are going to watch that video and potentially go out and purchase a Springfield Armory Prodigy because of his shill recommendations, okay? So all of this to say, if you're watching this and you're like, Trench, should I buy a Prodigy? Never. Never in a million years should you support a company like Springfield Armory after the work they've done against the Second Amendment in Illinois, and after all the work that they've done to lobby against the Second Amendment, and now they're just releasing cringe products like the Kuna and the Prodigy, okay? So if you don't like this message and you're like, we shouldn't be infighting, there's no such thing as a community. There's no such thing as a Second Amendment community. There's just dudes that train, that are based, that are out there dry firing, attending courses, using products that are actually good, like, I don't know, a fucking Glock 19. And then there's guys that are shilling for bad companies, that are recommending in the same video a Springfield Armory Prodigy and a 300 Blackout bedside gun. And now a bunch of guys are going to go out, and I'll address the 300 Blackout in a different video, but now a bunch of guys are going to go out, and the uninformed, the uninitiated are going to go out and buy this gun and they're going to have issues. And where's Callout going to be? He's going to be cashing that check from that affiliation that he has with Springfield Armory, and he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank on your behalf. So before you get in the comments of this video and say, Trench, stop with the drama, focus on the tactics, focus on the review. Well, dude, I release a video every day, and most of them are tactics, and most of them are gun reviews or suppressor reviews, and the vast majority of my content is that. But when I'm sitting here and I see a video and have guys sending me the Callout video saying, you have to watch this dude is openly shilling for Springfield Armory and saying that the Prodigy is a good gun, well, that, my friends, is a fucking problem. And that is not a community thing. It's just he's not giving you good advice. If GBRS comes out tomorrow and shills for SIG even more, guess what? I'm going to call them on their bullshit, because they are not even liked in their own community. The Navy SEAL Team 6, the Navy SEALs have disavowed him, DJ Shipley, publicly. They do not allow him in the in circle. So when people like Callout Noir, DJ Shipley, Military Arms Channel, Warrior Poet Society, when these people come out and make bad products or shill for companies that are inherently bad or go against the grain and defend people like T-Rex Arms, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call them out when they're objectively wrong. And in this case, again, Callout is cringe and objectively fucking wrong, okay? So rant complete. Please do not go out and give Springfield your money. Please do not. If you get literally anything else that actually works, let me know what your thoughts are down below, guys. Hopefully I articulated that our accountability is a double-edged sword, and if you're going to be in this space and you're going to be training, attending courses, attending matches, and holding yourself accountable, if someone says something stupid, you gotta hold their feet to the fire, and that is exactly what I'm trying to do with this video. Thanks for being here, guys. If you got this far, consider joining the Patreon, because I don't have any sponsors. I am sponsored by you, the members of the Patreon. That Patreon link gets you access to a closed Discord server where you can find buddies to train with, game with, stay up late, and actually do based things that are not cringe like the Springfield Armory Prodigy. Thanks for being here, guys, and until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average combat llama. Leave your llama emoji down below if you enjoyed this video. Enjoyer that your mom says that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Cheers.